I had given up hoping that this day would ever come, but it is finally here, at long last. I can, unironically, without a speck of falsehood, say that I browse EX hentai for research purposes, as the entirety of the Art of Assassin's Creed artbook has leaked on the hentai site. Brilliant. Actually, you'd be surprised how many art books you can find on there. But before we get too far off into the weeds on that particular topic, it's indeed out, and it seems to be the real deal. There's dozens upon dozens of pages, including artwork, including descriptions, all of this stuff, and unless somebody has put a lot of effort into faking this, and I do mean a truly tremendous amount of effort, this is all but certainly real. So there are some interesting points to go through in this little art book here, starting with now, our part of the duo of Protagonist here, a little Asian chick who looks a lot better in the art book, doesn't she? Much of the early concept art for now looked like this. So this is now in-game. Broad face, angry, big, thick, slanted eyebrows, and a fairly big masculine nose. And this is now in the early artwork. More gracefully curved eyebrows, much like smoother, thinner face, and even her lips too are clearly more emphasized here. And again, the nose as well, you can see it's more like narrowing up the top, it doesn't look as big and so on. Even her eyes, like she's got kind of like the slightly bigger, cute anime girl eyes here, and obviously the hair as well, being the most immediately stand out element of this. So yeah, it is pretty much confirmed now. At some point during the development process, Ubisoft looked at this and thought, no, that's a pretty girl. Do you have any idea what year it is? Beat her with the ugly stick now until she looks like a man, god damn it. That's what gamers want. Boys is what gamers want. In some cases, right, okay, hardly surprising considering the current year. What else have we got? Well, we've got some bit of Yasuke, of course, wearing a bit of a special outfit here. Jewelry as well on his wrists was not a common thing for Japanese samurai men at the age. In fact, he was rather feminine, but details, right? I mean, if we're talking about watermelons being in Japan about 200 years before they're being introduced, who even cares about the details anymore? And we've also got a they, them. So throughout this art book, they keep mentioning pronouns quite a lot, like he did this, she did this, and so on in the various character descriptions, right? And then we've got Ibuki here. Free-spirited, rebellious, yet joyful by nature. This recruitable ally is a solitary ronin who came from a clan of obedient samurai, but now follows a unique moral compass. They were well-trained and excelled in combat. This is the only character, as far as I could see, in the whole book who was referred to as a they. And she, he, they, them, sie, just so happens to follow a personal, unique moral compass. Is that going to have something to do with gender identity, I wonder? I'd be shocked if it didn't, frankly. We also have our big fat female sumo wrestler, which also was not a particularly big thing at the time. Yaya brings formidable strength, both physical and spiritual, as she's a big sumo wrestler type monk character. Of course, why not? Why the hell not? We also have a, was it this one? Impulsive charm and reckless, Genjo plays the classic Robin Hood role as a thief who robs the rich, blind gives the loot to the poor. Ah, classic, of course. The Japanese bandits and the Ronin were known for their selfishness. No, they were not. No, they were really not. But hey, details, right? And also, just a little dot about the eye. Can you guess what the Portuguese are? Can you get what the Portuguese are? What they're currently doing in Japan? Well, This Portuguese Templar has spent 20 years immersing himself in Japanese culture in a nefarious attempt to establish Western power in the Far East. They're nefarious and evil. That's what they are. Of course they are. And hey, you know what? I even agree. They're infringing upon a nation's sovereignty by trading guns to the despot they prefer the most. I can even see their point, but Ubisoft, I don't give you the benefit of the doubt for even a single solitary second, because you haven't earned it in a very, very long time. Again, I love the fact this leaked too. Okay, so this probably leaked because there's been a lot of leaks from Ubisoft recently. There's a lot of, well, not very happy employees, shall we say? Ubisoft has been treating them very poorly, and with layoffs having wrecked several of their studios as well, I imagine a great deal of Ubisoft employees are looking at their position within the company and kinda seeing time run out, whilst feeling used, abused, and generally mistreated, and wanting to get a little bit of revenge out the door. That would be the most likely reason in my opinion anyways. And showing off stuff by this is absolutely a way to do so. Again, they obviously took the ugly stick to now. No doubt whatsoever. None at all. They have obviously given him a little bit of an interesting African look, despite the fact that you'd think he'd integrate pretty heavily, being a supposed samurai, etc. And they've added in they-them companions too, just in case all of the other nonsense was a little bit too subtle. And finally, a fat woman and a Robin Hood socialist. Not too Ilish, obviously. And I would not doubt for a second that they're going to bring their personal brands of politics into it as well, from these various, apparently, I presume, recruitable companions, as I think they've mentioned, there we go, yes. This recruitable ally is a solitary Ronin, so apparently, from what I can tell, there's also mentions of like a band of freedom fighters of La Resistance. So you're going to be gathering up a group of people, of Ronins, of Robin Hoods apparently, of assassins and other people to, set up an assassin group in Japan, maybe? Why? To fight for Oda Nobunaga, I would guess, as he's the one who gave Yasuke his supposed status as a samurai. This seems like a kind of a big deviation from the previous Assassin's Creed. In fact, hell, even having two protagonists at the same time seems like a massive deviation from previous Assassin's Creeds. There was a clip going around on Twitter a little while ago showing Yasuke let's not go there, going crazy on a Shinto temple, destroying the temple itself and killing a bunch of what appeared to be priests and other, dignitaries walking around. Now, in previous Assassin's Creed games, generally speaking, if you started just brutally, wildly murdering masses of civilians, don't you, desync? I thought you weren't supposed to be allowed to do that, but it's been a while since I've been playing Assassin's Creed, so perhaps I'm completely mistaken on that account, but even then, the visual of having the ginormous Black Yasuke rampaging through a Shinto shrine at the exact same point in time that Japan is having a bit of a problematic turn of events with their own rising immigrant population. Not the best optics, no, outright deviant in nature, in fact. Not very good whatsoever. And I'm sure you can imagine how Japanese society thought about they-thems. Frankly, much like today, as in, you're a little nutty, aren't you? You should probably stay away or something. And the fact that it leaks on a hentai site, that's just the cherry on top. That is just like the final dotting of the I, or the raisin in the sausage, which is a saying I've never quite understood, but believe me, that is a saying about the raisin in the sausage. But there you go. Now, once hot, now not. They-them characters, big fat sumo wrestling monks, and of course, Robin Hood. What else could you possibly desire from a current year Assassin's Creed? Again, I think I am redoubling down on my assessment that not even the established fanbase can save this one. And we're getting very close to release now, so time will soon tell. Till then, I've been Arch. Thank you all very much for watching, and I do hope to see you all again soon. Have a good day.